Hollywood films, you spend the first 20 minutes in which people are just blah, 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 telling you the whole backstory and exposition and explain you absolutely everything for them to start the story. It's something I cannot stand. And I became cocky. I said, well, the script, I don't like it, but we're going to compensate visually. Never. You know, when it's not the essence, the concept, the soul is already there, you cannot compensate with anything. For me, the most important thing is not the end result, but what you learn for the next one. It's not only it's obviously there's the technical aspect of it. More important, there's the conceptual aspect of that. But even more important, what you learn in terms of life. And that was the most beautiful lesson that I learned from the Harry Potter experience. Trying to keep a freedom, and that means being open, but at the same time not to depend on anybody, not to depend on anybody's material, not to depend on anybody's humors about when to greenlight a movie. That is, I think that's something that is fundamental. Is just to do the movies that you want to do when you want to do them. What I like to do is, and I do that with Chivo, is that we prep millimetrically. You know, we prep with detail, locations, absolutely everything. But we like to arrive to the set and forget absolutely everything and completely reinvent because I love accidents. Chivo calls them miracles. You know, I like when accidents happen and unexpected and the errors in camera work and stuff. I love all that stuff. We prepped the shot like for 12 days, and then we shot for 2 days, but there was only one take that was complete. That was the last chance I had to do that scene because we were losing the location, and the sun was fading, and suddenly blood spilling into the lens. That was completely not designed. Actually, in the moment in which the blood is spilling into the lens, I yelled cut. But there was an explosion, so nobody heard me. And I realized that if they have heard me and they have cut, I was not going to be able to shoot the scene. So I just let it go. And at the end of the scene, Clive Owen and Emmanuel Lubezki, cinematographer, they were so excited. And I said, yes, guys, but there was blood in the lens. And the two of them, they turned at me and said, but that was the miracle. And then I realized it was true. It was about embracing those accidents, embracing those things that I could have never designed originally. Yeah, so my films, I always, even since film school, I would do a combination of long takes and sometimes very cut stuff. And then it was in Mamá También that we started doing it in a more systematic way. Also because we started doing it in a more conceptual way, following the single shot, not for aesthetic reasons. And actually, if we start, in Mamá También, we start getting these rules, Chivo and I, that if you follow something for aesthetic reasons, we have to throw it to the rubbish bin. Everything has to have it's a language, you know, and it's not about the beauty, but about the language. And the reason of the one-shot deals was this whole idea that you want to first of all, you want to portray a moment of truthfulness. And you want to do it in real time, in which character and environment, they have the same weight. You don't favor one versus the other. You know, you have the same weight to character and environment, or you clash one against the other. So that was the principle of why we started doing that. It was very clear it was going to be mostly long, continuous shots, not because of an Olympic of continuous shots, you know. It was just, and because when the shots lost its meaning, we would cut, you know, as opposed to force the shot, in other words. So, and that was the approach. But what it was important again is what was
in front of the camera.
You two have known each other longer than the two of you have known.
No, we know each other longer.
You two.
They are older than me.
They're older.
I'm fatter.
Yeah. But this friendship extends across everything. You guys know each other. You comment on each other's work. You come to the aid of each other.
We swap wipes and stuff.
What's the common denominator to these films that you make?
Well, I think it has to do that. I consider Children of Men, Pan's Labyrinth, and Babel or Babel, sister films. Three films that I think they speak similar themes. I think that the theme of ideology as a wall between communication and people is a common theme with the three films. And I don't think it's casual or a coincidence. It's just that our creative process is a process that we really share between each another. From the moment of gestating or thinking about stories, we're talking all the time. And then during the writing process, we keep on sharing our screenplays and being brutally honest with each other. Then during shooting, we're like support groups because we suffer so much that we need to talk to someone else who's suffering a little bit more.
Because you give candor and you expect candor.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And that is the thing. I mean, in the sense, we like to stick our forks in each other's salad. So what happens is that unconsciously, I think that we are giving an influence from one person to the other film. And I think it has to do with that process. But I'm sorry to say the core of that process is friendship.
You foul, loathsome, evil little cockroach!
Hermione, no! He's not worth it.
But the next movie you made was one you have described as a bad movie, and The Great Expectations.
Sorry about that.
Why? Tell me why you think it's a bad movie.
Well, because it has great music, great cinematography, great production design, and actually amazing art. Francesco Clemente did the paintings for the film. But the movie sucks.
No, the problem is that I didn't do it. The problem is it's a project that was offered to me, and it was offered several times, and I always say no. And I allow myself to be seduced by the wrong reasons. You know, one very important is I was running out of money, and I had to find a job, very soon. But then you just get seduced by it's seductive. And if you're stupid and you're a little, and I was insecure about, I was convinced by the studios, and that's something so dangerous, that you develop things. You're a director. You don't write. I forgot I was a writer. I forgot that I was anything else. I spent my days reading screenplays, and then selecting someone and going out to shoot. So this was the choice that was given to, the best choice that I got in that moment. And I have said no 3 times, and it's okay, let's go for it. And I became cocky. I said, well, the script, I don't like it, but we're going to compensate visually. Never. When it's not the essence, the concept, the soul is already there, you cannot compensate with anything. And that's the truth of the matter. It's not nobody's fault but mine. It's not the studio, it's not the producers, it's not the actors, it's mine. I did the wrong film. I should have not done, I didn't know what I was doing.
So Chivo, every single day during the shoot, is next time trust your instincts. He kept, every single day he would tell me that.
Man down! Houston, this is Explorer. Copy. Houston, this is Explorer. Copy.
Explorer's been hit.
There's a little bit of the disease of the explanation and exposition in Hollywood films. A generic Hollywood films, you spend the first 20 minutes in which people are just blah, 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 telling you the whole backstory and exposition and explain you absolutely everything for them to start the story. It's something I cannot stand. I don't believe in films that explain. I believe that audiences, they have to come with their own conclusions based upon what they are looking at. I didn't want to explain the whys of the infertility. For me, the human project was nothing but a metaphor for the possibility of an evolution of the human understanding. And then I didn't want to explain anything else. So, there are certain pressures of people that they want to get more information about what is, they need to get all the information, but something I defended in this film is that says, no, I want people to come out with their own conclusions. It's the same thing, I didn't want to portray a happy ending because I cannot impose my own sense of hope into people. What I can do is to portray a reality the way I see it, and then open the possibility of a glimpse for hope. But each member of the audience to choose if there's, after what they witness, if there's room for hope or not. But rather than for me to impose a sense of hope. So that's something that for me was fundamental for this film. I cannot stand a lot of contemporary cinema that you can go to the movie theaters and watch. Most of the films that you see that are playing in your multiplex, you can go sit down, close your eyes, and watch the whole movie, and you didn't miss a damn thing. It's because everything is just like illustrated radio show. Or in the best case scenario, the illustration of a good story, rather than what I believe is the power of cinema, and that is a visual power. I mean, cinema was born out of visuals, and then sound complement those visuals. But the fundamental information is a cinematic information that is mainly visual, or if it's going to be through sound, it has to be clashing with the visuals, to create something that is more than the sum of the parts. So that's something that we try to do with Children of Men. Rather than explaining, is conceptually to get the people engaged with the themes from a very cinematic way.